Hello and welcome to today's live stream, or tonight's live stream. I'm just going to get set up here, make sure everything looks in frame. Always set my phone up here, and that way it gives me a view of what you guys are looking at. I think that'll work pretty well. All right, so what I'm doing tonight is, as you can tell by the title, but I'm going to play around with my 3D pin. So a 3D pin, if you don't know, is it takes these little filaments, and it's kind of like a glue gun, where you'll run this through, and it heats it up, and then you can kind of shape it, and technically sculpt with it. Now, this is the 3D pin I got. I've had it for 2 years now, and I've only done 2 projects with it, and they're both videos on my channel. But the first thing was testing it out, and I made this little monster, and he's completely made out of the plastic filament for the 3D pin, and you can tell they're durable. And then I made this little nightlight monster. And what I did with him is I made his, I didn't make his eyes. His eyes are the same as like plush. Miz is on. Hi, Miz. Thankfully, I'm still awake tonight or morning. It's a little past 4 a.m. Wow. Yeah. But so I made this nightlight monster. And his teeth are out of polymer clay. His eyes are like those ones you get at Hobby Lobby. And I made it so he's got some gaps. Can't really tell as well here, but so the light shines through a little bit. It's just kind of a little test project. But anyway, my point is I've had very little experience with my 3D pen. So I'm actually pretty nervous to do this as a live stream. But I wanted to do some things I haven't done much of or done in a while. Like I did needle felting last night, and it's been a few, several months since I've done needle felting. And it's been even longer since I've messed with this, and I obviously haven't had the same experience with this as I have with needle felting. So this could be disastrous, which I heard makes for good television. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little monster. So I really thinking I can't go wrong here. I do have these pre-baked little spikes out of polymer clay silver that I want to use for some kind of teeth for it. And then I also have these pearl beads that I want to do for the eyes. And I've used these on other projects before. These are great eyes for like Deadpool necklaces or Batman necklaces because they have a shimmer to them, so it works well with jewelry. I've also used them in my Warbler spider that I did for one of my days for the 31 days of Halloween. So I'm going to use these for a few eyes, couple eyes, 3 eyes. I don't know how many eyes I'll do on it. Depends on how big I make it. I also thought that I might try putting it on this glass jar to get me some shape, and taking it off and making like doing 2 halves that way, and then attaching them together and then adding some tentacles or something like that. Usually when I pick a certain medium, whether it's Warbler, needle felt, or clay, it's based on what I'm trying to make. And so for me, with my lack of experience with the 3D pen, I think this will work really well to have a monster that has like tentacles coming off of it and, a lot of texture to it. And Delaney's on. Hello, Delaney. How are you? How was work tonight? Just set this aside. So I'm going to pick a color. And these, I got us like a sample pack back when I got it, so I don't have a lot of any certain color. So he might be multiple colors. And it's kind of hard to tell how much it'll need. There is some of these that are kind of a translucent color. Delaney says it was really busy, really good, super busy tonight. Well, that's good. Miz says I started rewatching 31 Days, but tried to get to bed early. I failed. Well, thank you for watching more of my content. I had a lot watched yesterday, and that's awesome. So let's see if I've got something that I think will work for what I want to do for the monster. That almost looks like a metallic. And this is something, like I said, it'll be multiple, it'll probably be multiple colors, but I'm going to start with this darker one. And we'll kind of move these out of the way. I already dropped the ball. Usually I tape my wax paper down, and I didn't this time. Just kind of space it off. And you'll also see to the side here, I have my little campfire lighter thing. You can use that to kind of melt the ends and attach it. You just want to make sure you don't do it too hot or it starts to like burn it. And scissors just in case. So we'll kind of set those aside. I want to make sure to get the tape off here so when I feed it through, it doesn't gum up the 3D pin. Hopefully we don't have any technical difficulties since I haven't used my 3D pin that much. Not really for sure how reliable it is, but it is heating up. I don't even remember, like I just turned it on and it just heated up. It's got a little, oh, it says sleep. Well, I don't want it to sleep. Wake up. Nope, now it's going back up to temp. So I think I let it sit too long. I was trying to get it ready. So, Miz says I have a 3D pin and used it a few times. I got annoyed at the blending of colors when I changed colors. Yeah, this one I could even tell had some residue left in there, and I tried to feed that out, but it's one of those things that I think it's nice, you know, like for me, it'll work really well for making some different monsters, but some of the original project ideas I had for it, not so much. I've watched some people and they make, you know, amazing stuff with it. I was going to make, you know, like SpongeBob characters and, you know, different video game characters. So it just feeds through the top here, but I don't know if we're quite up to temp. Oh, yeah, it's feeding it. I don't know what these buttons do. So you can kind of hear it. And that's as fast, and then you can do it slow. I'm really impatient on this because I just go as fast. Oh, and it's already feeding out. So I did, like I said, put some wax paper down to protect my surface, but I do have a piece of poster board on my art desk just because I've had it for so many years. It's kind of discolored in spots. And so I kind of just change this out every once in a while. So you just hold it like a pin. I've got the plug-in, which is already being difficult. I think I need to bring it up a little bit higher. So I'm gonna have to bear with me here, folks. There, that'll work, I hope. It's a little bit higher. Wait for it to activate, and that tip does get very hot, just like a hot glue gun. Miz says I bought it to do iron gates, etc. for an idea I had on 1/12 Castle Dollhouse. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Let's see if I can get it to stick to this. My thing is, like, you can see here, like, there's no straight lines here. Yeah, this is almost making it like slipperier to try to do it this way, but you can kind of go straight across. Hopefully this is visible enough. Miz, I'm assuming, does yours have multiple speed settings as well? And if it does, what speed setting do you usually do yours in? I know a lot of people will do like put wax paper over like a drawing of like an arm or something, and then they will, oh, I think I just hit the back button, and then they will draw over that. So this is what happens when you accidentally hit the back button, and then it wants to feed all that out. So we're gonna go back through, come on. Scraps here. Seems really slow. Yeah, that's not going in. Biz says, I don't think it had more than one speed. It was a really cheap one from Wish. This one, I mean, I think it's decent. It had good reviews. I got it from Amazon. I know a lot of people watch my unboxing demonstration video for it. I almost think maybe I should get another one just to see if there's a difference, and you know, maybe I'm held back by a low quality one, but at this point I don't want to judge the device too much with my lack of experience. There it goes. All right, guys, we're back in business. Wow, this is a mess. So you know what? We're going to make this intentional. We're going to just go all over the place, give it some kind of cool design. We're going to make it so this creature has a lot of texture to it. Go across. It's going to droop in, but that's okay. Very rhythmic. Almost like maybe I should have put some foil on the bottom to give it a more rounded shape, but that's all right. This will be some good practice. If anybody else in the chat has experience with a 3D pen, let me know. I could definitely use some advice. Got a good section there. Keep going. Once I get, I'm not worried about filling it all the way in, not even ever, but once I get more of it filled in, I'll pop it off and then I'll still go back over it once I get some more pieces done for it. So I'm just gonna give a little tug, and I should probably let it cool a little bit longer, but you know, we're live streaming. We don't want to waste too much time. So this is something where you could take like a glass bowl and do it, and you can kind of have a cool pattern on it that way, especially if you're you know, got more proficient with it. You can come up with some different designs, different colors, and make a nice bowl for a little side table or something like that. You know, throw your keys in. I think that would work out nice. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to get me another piece like that. probably end up doing, if I don't have enough of this color left after I'm done, is make like tentacles out of different colors or appendages. Kind of want them like shooting off, similar to like, I'm thinking of like Venom or something like that, if you guys are familiar with Venom, and how his little tentacles will shoot out. Whoa, whoa, get back here. Keep going around. I want to get a nice edge, and then I'll cross it over the bottom of the jar. And the reason why I picked a jar to do it, and I've done foil too, that's another one that works, but you know, that way I don't have to worry about melting it with the tip here. Ms. says, I tried to do a few dollhouse pieces, but gave up after seeing others' amazing stuff. Yeah, you know, I mean, they always say don't compare yourself to other artists, but wow, there's some amazing things that people do with 3D pins. And then, you know, sometimes they'll have like they're not like build lines like a 3D printer, but you still have lines where each section was drawn, but then they'll go in and sand it and, you know, smooth it out, and it just really looks incredible. And what I like about it, it's kind of like the Warbler 2, where it's very durable compared to clay, and unlike the Warbler, you don't have to paint it, although there is some colored Warbler. There's black, and there's red, which I haven't gotten. I've gotten the black, and that works nice for some projects. I wasn't going to do Warbler on a live stream, but I'm tempted to. The only thing is you have to use a heat gun to heat it up, and it's really loud as far as like, I don't know how that's going to work. But my wife watches a lot of acrylic pour videos, and they use hair dryers all the time on their videos that you can hear. So I think it's just one of those things, while you're doing that, you're not going to be, you know, trying to be talking. And I could also try to do it on the lower heat settings, and that might help make it so it's not so loud. All right. Get that set. This thing always wants to pull with that cord. And it's got this little stand here, but it's almost like this needs to be mounted to something, because if I put it in with the cord on, it just flips it over. So the stand itself isn't that great. So I've got kind of these two little basket halves. Not really for sure what I'm doing yet. I almost want to think I want them to be a little bit further apart. Let's see. Let's see if I set it on here. Okay, I had all that extra. Oh no, that's from before. So I'm just gonna throw that in the trash. Try not to waste too much, but I don't know, really, you can't refeed that through. So basically I want to kind of give myself a little more height with it. I'm going to stay away from where that label was on this jar, just because I want it to attach to it. This should give me a good amount to work with. Just go over. hopefully this is making for some good television. Might be kind of boring right now, but just want to try out different things and see what people are interested in. Still want to create things, but want to, see what's popular, what people like to watch. So, what's nice is this does have a little bit of flexibility before it breaks, so I can kind of, see there, it kind of broke off. That's what I get for saying that. So, might have gone around too much. Oh, no, look at there. I did it. So I'll set the jar aside for now. I think we might be done with that. So now I want to attach the other piece. Give myself some kind of body to this creature. It's a little awkward. Come on. Right now I'm just kind of stitching it, just going over in different sections just to attach the two halves. And this is one of those things 3D pen projects I think usually take a lot of time, so doing one on a live stream might be a bad idea, but that's why I want to just keep it simple and just make a little monster that's my own creation. I definitely have areas that he's gooped up. And this is, I think it's relaxing to watch. Well, thank you. Probably all need a little time to relax. I know I don't know if any of you are familiar with Cinemassacre. It's James Rolfe's video company. He is the angry video game nerd. If you're offended by a bad language, definitely don't watch his channel for his angry video game nerd stuff. But his Cinemassacre channel is, based with movies and stuff. And he just did a video about Bob Ross. And it's been a long time since I've sat down and watched a Bob Ross video, and I think it's on Netflix now. But they're talking about how he's still popular, and his videos were very relaxing. And when he painted, it was just the sound of the brush, and they didn't play music in there. So then I thought, well, maybe my audience wants something that's, not fast-paced and not so busy. There's so much content on there. It's just, on YouTube, and especially when you look at TikTok, everything's so fast and so, quick edits, and that's great if that's what you're looking for, but not everybody wants, that, or you don't want that all the time. It's almost like, and I know I'm probably sounding old here, but a lot of the stuff now encourages these ADHD or ADD, what is it? Adult Attention Deficit Disorder. AADD? Look at me not knowing what I'm talking about, but you know what I'm trying to say. So, there's our, almost looks like kind of like a cookie or a biscuit type shape. So I'm going to try something a little bit different here. I think I want to do, come on. I'm going to make a mouth. I'm going to line it up. Not quite. Pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this color until I'm done with it. Miz says it could be a real Cookie Monster. Yeah. I love Cookie Monster. I love cookies. I'm just going to go back and forth and get a piece made for its lower jaw. And then I'll do one similar for the upper jaw, and I'll add the teeth, and then I'll attach it. And hopefully I have enough that I can do that. All right, so there's, Go ahead and do my other jaw shape. Kind of gooped up on me. It's all right, we'll just flatten that out. Still a little bit gooped up on that one side. So, all right, look at that mess. So let's see. I'm thinking, I don't know if this will work. Heat that up a little bit. No, that doesn't even go in at all. So what if kind of a goop there? Basically gooping up a little bit of the plastic filament, and then I'm trying to insert the teeth so they'll stay in place. I'm going to bulk that up a little bit. Yeah, this isn't working. Huh. I know I did something with the teeth on that other guy, but it's been so long, I don't remember exactly what I did to get them to stay in. I don't think I glued them. We'll get two more here. We'll do on the other side. We'll see what happens. Again, just making a little pile of the 3D filament. And just putting a little more on there. Whoa. Oh, that didn't work at all. This clay is almost too flexible. It's not gonna want to stay in there. All right, let's build up for one more. Get that inserted. Luckily, I don't care if I burn my fingers. I just smush that in there. Peel that off the wax paper. So that's what we have so far for that lower thing. That's a mess. I don't know if I can use this and then alternate with the other teeth on here. And I'm almost out of this color, so let's go ahead and get that to bulk up an area for these teeth before I run out. Oh, and I don't want them to be in the way of each other, so I should have had that one out more. I think I'll just do 2 teeth on here. All right. I should make myself use this thing every week, and then I could actually get good at it. All right, as you can see, looks like it's about out. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I have enough to attach this. Oh, nope. Oh, did I might have hit the back button, because that looks like that should be enough that I could still use it. Let's try it one more time. Because that should give me enough to at least attach my jaws. So, I'm wondering, that's about the right height. Oh, but my teeth are going to be in the way. I won't be able to do that. Then I could use this to rest my jaw on it so I could attach it. Well, maybe nope, and I broke a tooth off. Well, heck. Let's see here. guess it has to be a certain length or I'll just shoot it back out. So we'll just pick another color and go from there. I'm gonna drop something. Colors are all tangled up here. There we go. I don't know if... I was trying to look to see what I had dropped because I don't know if it's a color I might want to use later, but I don't see it, so it might have been something else on my desk. So I just need to get the tape off of this. Miz says, I don't think I would be able to be a YouTuber. I tend to curse too much usually. A lot of YouTubers curse. I don't know if it's against the rules. I just try not to do it on camera. I said I don't necessarily do a kids channel, but I like to be family friendly. Yeah, see, that's already pushing that through, so. All right, come on. All right, guys, I know this is an absolutely mess right now, but I promise you I will not stop until this thing is awesome. This might be a 30-hour stream. No, I'm just kidding. I'd never make it that long. I'd be asleep. So, let's see what we can do. I wonder if I can at least even rest the teethies on there. This thing is a little awkward for me. So I'm going to try to attach this lower jaw with some filament. And I'm just worried about getting the end here, so to get those two pieces to connect together. And I'll go back in there. Like here, it's going to be really open, but I'm going to cover a lot more of this, add some eyes, and then add those tentacles I talked about. So let's see. We're getting into that other color, an orange. But I think that'll look good once I go over it. All right. Look at that bizarre thing. He's got his spiky teeth that really are not where I want them to be. And we're just going to cover up this spot here. He's going to look very stringy, very, I want him to look kind of like I don't want to say zombie. I mean, he's not going to be a zombie, obviously, but a lot of monsters, when they open their mouth and you see all those like torn flesh and just kind of stringy bits, I'm okay with him having those. Do more covering of, building this up into an actual jaw area. And you can kind of just go back over where you're at on it and just build it up. One thing you got to take into account while this is warm, gravity's going to affect it and it's going to droop it. So if you want to have it droop a different way, kind of work against it, or work with gravity on it, I should say. See, I kind of like this effect that it's doing, where you can see the darker color underneath, and looks like this is, like I said, to me it looks very Venom-like. Yeah, I'm starting to like that. So I'm going to go do the same thing on the other side. I want to build up his upper jaw and get these little stringies across there. Of course, we're going to need to build up the front too. Yeah, this guy's starting to be a lot of fun. I was nervous at first, guys. Who am I kidding? I'm still a little nervous with him, but we're going to make him work. And if he doesn't, he was good practice. Maybe I'll do a 3D pin video where, like I can watch a tutorial from another artist and try to recreate that. Might end up being one of those videos, where they show the original and then they show this like crappy reproduction of it and it says, nailed it. Maybe my 3D art will be a meme. Or my 3D pin art, I should say. Not my 3D art. Still think I do pretty decent at the clay stuff and the Warbler. This little toothy I don't want them touching. So I'm going to do the same thing with this lower jaw area, where I'm going to go around, build it up, and then bring it over the main body area. Miz says, the more I think about it, I believe I chose the higher temperature filament so I could cover it with Fimo and bake it. Oh yeah, I don't know what it says 195 degrees, so it's not that hot. This would not work with Fimo or any of the oven bake clays. Build up the front of his lower jaw, flip him over, and work on this side. Almost to the point where I'm happy with this section. Need to figure out how I want to build it up for the eyes. Miss says, I think the filament claimed to be 170 degrees Celsius and the FEMA requires 110. I'm too tired to recalculate to Fahrenheit. That's fine. I use Primo, so it's probably pretty close to FEMO, and it's 275 degrees Fahrenheit. And like I said, this is 195, so we're at least a good 80 over the melting point of this one. So that's what we got so far. Get them nice and stringy. No, I don't necessarily want to do that. I was going to have it arch across, but I kind of like the way this has the same directional pattern. This says then 275 degrees Fahrenheit is about 130 degrees Celsius. Okay. All right. So I want to make like an arch to put the eyes in. So what I can do is I've seen people do, like I can do a couple of these little U shapes. And then, let's see if they're, let it cool enough. Luckily this cools pretty fast. I can still, you know, like I don't have to let it sit for 10 minutes. That one's probably not quite ready, but get my scraps out of the way. What I can do now is put this in place. This will give me a structure to work on so I can build up his head a little bit more. I've got some filament that came through. He's like slipping around. Well, I just get this attached. So I'm just gooping it up there. And I should kind of melt what's already there too, I hope a little bit. Not quite happy with that. Anybody else has any questions or comments? I'm right here watching the chat as I do this. Ah, look at a jumper. A little clumsy. Clumsy and artist don't really go together, but I suppose it's better than clumsy and surgeon. Come on. All right. Let's see if this works the way I think it will. So basically, I'm just using that arc of filament as something to, you know, draw the filament onto. And it just will give me enough support for me to do this. Now I want to bring it back over to that second one, and then down back to the back of our head. And I have no rhyme or reason or pattern or anything. I'm just going with what I think I should be doing. The randomness of this guy is going to be his charm. Getting there. This whole thing's a little off-centered, but whatever. All right. Running out of things to say while I do this, guys. It's taking quite a bit of time just to do what I've done. Ms., what's the next project you're going to work on? Definitely has a alligator-ish type vibe. Delaney says this is a good thing to watch when I get off work because it motivates me to work on art instead of just game. Well, I'm glad it motivates you, Delaney. I think, though, if you've worked all day, though, gaming's okay, too. Miz says right now I'm knitting wrist warmers for my parents. Oh, that's very nice of you. So now the question is, this is pretty hard. I need to add some eyes. So the question is, how can I put those in? How many will it work? Or maybe I should put them off to the side and just do a couple. These are the beads that are for like necklaces. I don't want those to spill out. So they have holes in them. So I want to line them up so those I can cover those holes. So I'm going to try not to burn this. Myra says, looks kind of like a snake, dragon, or alligator head. Yeah, it gave me that alligator vibe. Get a better look at it there. I haven't quite figured out what if I'm gonna have like tentacle type things coming out from the bottom to lift it up, or just have them kind of shooting out of it. I don't want to burn this. I have started this stuff on fire before. I just want to, just enough where I can kind of push that in, make that indention. Well, that didn't really stick though. Maybe if I tilt it. Come on. Miz says, I haven't seen them in a month due to them being over 70 years old. Yeah, it's been a little while since I've seen my mom. Feels about 3.5 hours away, or about 3 hours away. And with the whole, everything going on in the world, I'm not gonna go visit her now. All right. So let's see if I can drape this across and hold that bead in place as it spins around. If this is working against me. Come on, little monster. I think that actually worked. Ms. says they live 25 minutes away, but I met more people than my brother, so he's done their shopping lately. Yeah, that's a smart choice, and that's good that you guys are both close enough that you can help them out. I'm just gonna melt this side a little bit. Give myself an indentation to work in. And I'm trying to line it up the best I can with the other side, but we all know this guy isn't even gonna be close to being symmetrical. Why, you little... Come on. Drizzle this on there is what I feel like I'm doing. Definitely has a very, it's gonna have a very stringy look to him. A lot of openings. I think I'll have a kind of make it a little more creepy looking. Go over this. This looks like I need a little more built up around it. Something I can do is kind of whoa, moved it down to slow. Add some kind of in separate ones here. Look like they. How do I want to say it? Like it's kind of dripped and torn away. I'm going to go ahead and use up this color on it and filling it in spots, and then I'll find a new color and start adding some tentacles coming off of him. I almost think it should be do some thicker ones and do them as a base to it. Jessica just came on, says I didn't get a notification. Yeah, Jessica, I don't know why some people get them and some don't. I know Ms. said she had that issue, I think, last night. And a friend of mine says she never gets notifications. So anyway, Ms. says he's turning into nightmare fuel. That's good, I think. I want him to be a creepy monster. So Jessica, tonight I am working with my 3D pen. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I've had it for 2 years now. And I've only made 2 things with it. And they're both videos you can see on my channel. So if you haven't already checked those out, there's a good chance you have. So because of that, I don't have a lot of experience with this. So I'm just kind of winging it. And I've got a bunch of filaments here. So I want to do some tentacles or some kind of like things coming off of him to make him stand, and then some tentacles coming out. And Jessica said, I saw them. Thank you. I know you've been a fan of my channel for a while now. Which, I can't stress this enough. It's, you know, everybody that watches my videos is really important to me because, I mean, that's why I do it. I want to share my art with people. But I know there's some people on here that, you know, have been watching it since the beginning, and that's awesome. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead with this lighter one and use it up. It says the notification worked, but I had turned down the sound too much to hear it. I usually have the sound medium higher off. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I did post something on my Facebook artist page. I don't always do that. Maybe I should start doing that. But I know Facebook's algorithms are a little screwy too, and people don't always get notifications, or you know, if they're not right there, it's, you know, they won't get a notification unless they have those turned on Facebook. Come on, this is not. Yeah, that didn't feed through at all. There we go. It's gripping it now. So we're going to have some orange still in there. So I'm going to draw some things that I want to use for legs. Ms. says Facebook's algorithm sucks big time. It's worse than YouTube's. Yeah, and that's, I mean, it's bothersome because I've built up, you know, that audience for 10 years, and people only see my posts if I, you know, pay to promote it. And what I think is terrible is, like, if I pay to promote a post, it should be seen by people that don't follow my page, not people that do. I mean, they should see it already. That should go on to additional people. But what do I know? So basically right now, I'm just drawing out what I'm going to use for the legs, and I'm just adding a little bit to give it some structure, and then once I put them on the monster, I'll add some more details and stuff to them. And I think just to give him some stability, I'm going to go ahead and do forelegs on him. some of these that have the orange still in them, I'll work those into like the front or something, have them kind of matching. So let's see how I can do this. Set my pin aside. And these are awfully flat, obviously on one end because of the being on the wax paper. So I'm going to work with the underside. These are all. I don't know what to do. Oh, I could use the existing like little gaps. The gaps I have to kind of hold those in place. And I know that adds. Oh, come on. I'm pulling it back too far now, sorry. Sometimes I'm focused on what I'm doing and I get it out of the camera view. I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to hold that in place and let that cool. And I should be able to goop these up and then I can start, drawing more lines. But I want to get all 4 of them on here. It might make it harder to work around them, but I want to get them on there so I know like they're placed how I want them. Crate Team Hero. Hi guys, it's me, Dustin, the coolest guy in the world. Hi Dustin. You've certainly picked a interesting live stream to jump on. This one, I really do not know what I'm doing. But I appreciate you tuning in. I'm just making a monster with my 3D pin, which I've had very little experience with. So I thought, hey, why not try out and do this in front of the, not the whole world, the 9 people that are watching and potentially the whole world later. Because if you're going to do something, make sure there's people there to see you fail. So Dustin, what are you up to on this fine day? All right. That went way too far in. This gets kind of awkward. So again, I'm just attaching these legs and then I'll build it up some. This leg's definitely a lot shorter because I think I melted it as I was attaching it. Whoa, come on. Yeah, that's definitely melting down too. I can tell it's getting hot and getting flexible. Let that cool a little bit. I'm going to go back to this leg and add some stringy bits on it. Make it a little bit bigger. Dustin says, I keep fighting myself to buy the new iPad. I guess they're doing a whole new version in the fall. Well, Dustin, I think you've been around technology long enough to know there's always going to be something new around the corner. So the question is, do you want to wait? Do you want to get the old version when the new version comes out to get it cheaper? Or do you want to get it now and give yourself 6 or 7 months of practice? And is this something you're going to try to do something to make money with, or is this just going to be a hobby thing? A lot of that matters, because if it's something money, I personally think do it now. If it's something just a hobby, then maybe wait. So. I personally bought this 3D pen over 2 years ago, and this is only the third time I've used it, so I probably should have waited. So, since Dustin's on here, and I know he's done a lot with art, have you had any experience with a 3D pen? Do you have any tips to give me if you do? Almost like kind of a webbing effect. It's another way to look at some of the designs it's putting on this guy. I'm just going to kind of keep building up each leg until I'm happy with it. I actually thought tonight's stream would be shorter than last night's, but I have a feeling it's already longer. But I haven't ran out of steam yet, so I guess that's okay. Dustin says, never used one. Your color choice is interesting. Well, you'll see here, I've just got a bunch of colors I got from a sample. And Dustin, I didn't even catch that. So I kind of I basically started with one color. When it ran out, I just added another color and just keep going. Jessica says, I was curious about the 3D pen. It looked difficult to control, and I'm not an artist, so I passed. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, with my little experience, they are definitely tricky. I need to probably watch some more tutorials. I've watched enough to like, oh, I can try this out. But, for making these weird, odd little monsters that fall over, it works pretty well. I think I need to let that set up a little bit, because he should have enough stability once these are cooled. And then I can kind of bring this up and around. And Jessica, why do you say you're not an artist? Because I think I've seen plenty of your art online. Dustin says, man down. Yeah, he might have been partying a little too hard today. This little monster. Definitely good at making stringy, webby like monsters with this stuff, and that's, maybe that's all I'll do with it. I don't need to do stuff that I can do, out of clay, because I'll just use clay for that, even though this is more durable, so that would be nice, but... This might be the last color I use on him because I still got quite a bit left. Oh, Jessica, I do. You must have me confused with someone else because I don't post online. I am sorry, I was thinking of a different Jessica. Dustin says, I'm sure this is obvious, but have you tried a spider? No, I haven't. I've tried, when I did my Halloween videos, I did one out of clay, needle felt, and warbler, so I should do a spider out of this. Probably do some like webbing art, you know, like it looks like it's a spider web, but you know, make your own art with it. All right. Also kind of has that wet, or not, yeah, melted candle wax. That's what I want to say, not wet. Miz says now, why it's later than yesterday. We changed our clocks tonight and my phone did it by itself. Great Team Hero says spooky. So that's kind of what we've got so far. A lot of light can get through. There's a lot of openings, but I think that adds to it. So, I think he'll stand. Yeah, he'll stand now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some tentacles for him. I might just have a couple coming off of him. And what I could do is I can kind of do these at different angles. Going to thicken it up a little bit so it'll be easier to attach, and then once I have it attached I'll add more to it. Jessica says, I've been watching your videos for over a year and I'm interested in art as a hobby, but I don't post it because my art sucks. Oh, Jessica, you don't know. Maybe other people will like your art even if it's something you're not happy with. Trust me, I'm not 100% happy with everything I do. But one thing about live streams, it's already done. It's already out there. This guy isn't exactly how I envisioned tonight going, but I'm still think he's a fun piece to do. Miz says if you make a few leaves and put it in a planter, it could be a creepy plant monster. Yeah, that's a good idea. I should have not done the legs and just done that, but maybe that could be the next 3D pen monster, as a plant monster, similar to this. Yeah, that tentacle I think is going to be too long. So let's see here. Get this pulled up from the wax paper. Yeah, that's crazy long. Actually, I should have it coming out like that, like it's coming towards the front. And I'm going to try to melt it a little bit. And that way I can just kind of push that into place there. And that's the problem about doing things in real time. You got to sit here and wait for it to cool. Sorry, that was my neck. All right, we're going to add this other tentacle. He's definitely going to be a strange monster. Great Team Hero says gross. got a tooth that's loose, so I think I should go in and add a little more of the filament around there. Sorry, it's getting late. I'm losing my words. I was like, these need to be more dynamic. Maybe like bend them a little bit and give them some feet or something. To me, they look too much like posts. So I'm gonna heat it up just enough. It actually starts on fire. That's not what I was going for. And that's really hot, burning my finger. It's not quite, that's not working. I should probably use a heat gun instead of the lighter, because this stuff seems to be flammable. And I've seen other YouTubers do that, and they didn't have a problem. So now I just need to do the back legs. It got stuck to my finger there. There we go. That adds a little more character to them, I think, anyway. I've got some permanent plastic on my finger now, but that's okay. I had that off or down long enough, it cooled off a little bit and went to sleep mode. Do want to extend this leg. This is a shorter leg. So extend that out. Oh, that didn't work. I'm going to let that cool. Now I'm going to add some more stringy bits to these tentacles. Problem is, it's heating up this plastic down here at the base, and that's causing this tentacle to droop. But I really like the way the pattern it's got, like it's, you know, separate entity attached to it. All right. Well, he is Stolk. All right, little guy, there we go. You can see it discolored when I heated it up there. I don't like that. So I'm going to go ahead and bulk up this tentacle. Probably use up this color, and then might be done with him. And there's that tooth that came out. So I wonder if I can wedge that in place and give him some drippy bits with this. Almost looks like he's got some pus going on around this tooth. bulk this tentacle up. Oh, look at that drip. Come on. So we'll just hang it like this until it's cool. Let's see here. I swear, other people I watch online don't have these problems. Of course, those are all edited videos. To see if anybody does live streams of 3D pins. Can't imagine that I'm the first. You just need to get this a lot thicker and then it won't droop as fast. I do want to add a little more movement to this, so it's not so it's like straight out. So I'm basically just bending it as it cools, and then once it cools, it'll have that form that I'm wanting. Kind of jumping around here. And for everybody that is on right now, I want to remind you that tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be doing my Let's Make a Monster live stream. And on those videos, if you don't know, I let the audience pick what I use for the monsters, like horns and how many like teeth he might have, and just different attributes of the monster. So it's a lot of fun for me, and I think it's a lot of fun for the audience. Right now I'm just using this to go across, give it some more coverage, kind of blend everything together. Jessica says, I'll be sure to watch tomorrow. Thank you. Those are my only scheduled live streams, but I have been trying to pop on more now that I'm home more often, meaning I'm not going to work. Looks like a lot of us are stuck in that situation. All right, let's see here. Miss says, I have set my world clock to Chicago. Is that the right time zone? I think so. I haven't been to Chicago. It's quite a few hours away, but I don't think it's hit the Eastern yet. I don't know if Dustin knows for sure if Chicago's the same time zone, because I know Dustin's the same time zone as I am. Or if he's still here. Delaney says it's the same time zone. All right, thank you, Delaney. I am adding some more with this green going across. Kind of blend it together, you know, get everything to look like it's meant to be. That's the right terminology. It all goes together. And Myra says same time zone. Whoa. It does have some flexibility to it, but it also is a little bit brittle if you push it too far. So I don't want to necessarily drop it. All right. Ms. says that 2 p.m. should be 9 p.m. here. Yeah, that's not too late for you. If you can handle tonight. I definitely like this extra layer that I'm putting on here. It really adds to it. This guy's got a lot of depth to him now. Multiple layers of colors. The bad thing about these guys, they're not, I don't think they're expensive to make as far as materials, but they take so long. I mean, so if I wanted to resell one, I wouldn't be able to necessarily get my time back out of it, which I know a lot of art you don't, but you also don't want to get, gyp yourself. Getting towards the end here. I need a little more on this tentacle. Trying to decide on these ones that are just stringy bits if I should cut those off when I'm done or if they add to it. All right. Got notifications that block my view on here. Getting pretty much at the end of this guy. So I think I will trim him up a little bit. I've got probably get one more strand and then it stopped. I'm just gonna trim some of the stuff off, these thinner bits. They're almost hair-like. Well, I think I will stop there, guys. Great Team here goes. You going to add a tongue and a motorcycle, maybe? No, not tonight. Not to this guy. I'm pretty tired. It's been a long one. And a cat. Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm, Dustin. But I think this guy is done. So I'll bring it up. Let you get a good look at him. He's hollow inside. Had some treasures in there. But yeah, I'm really happy how this turned out. I like the contrast between the colors and the layers of it. So I might have to come up with a certain style of monster to do out of this other than just a drippy mess style, but these little tentacles or tendrils. I don't know what the difference is between the two. I know there's that old cartoon in Humanoids that mean one of the bad guys was Tendril, wasn't he? Has anybody seen that besides me? Jessica says good night. Good night, Jessica. Thanks for tuning in. I'll chat with you tomorrow. Myra says it turned out good, fun to watch. Thank you. I wasn't for sure if this one was as fun to watch because I, haven't done as much with the 3D pin. Great Team Hero says, I feel like you are making up a show. Oh, you mean about the Inhumanoids? No, Google it. Go on to YouTube. Check out Inhumanoids. It has incredible artwork. 80s, probably lasted for a season. There was 3 giant monsters in it. There was like kind of a demon one. There was Tendril, and there was Decomposed. And it was really dark for being a kid's show. Ms. says that was part of the fun too. Well, thank you, Ms. All right. Well, I don't really have anything else for tonight, guys. I do greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. Oh, and Great Team Hero says, I do remember. Yes, it was awesome. That's like out of my toy collection. Those are the 3 things that I feel like I'm missing. I've never had them as a kid, and I love giant monsters, so I'd love to get those 3. Maybe, just maybe, I should just make them myself. Maybe there's an audience out there for Inhumanoid stuff, and I could do some Inhumanoid characters. You just gave me another idea, Dustin. So anyways, guys, I'm babbling here. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, never stop creating. Bye!